New tonight, 98,000 voters may have been kicked off voter rolls just weeks before the early ballots are set to be mailed out. A computer error that goes back 20 years could prevent those voters from casting ballots in local and state elections. Now, there's a lot to unravel here, and again, only certain voters were affected. 12 News journalist Bram Resnick has the details for us. Bram.
Yeah, Troy, and to be clear, nobody's been kicked off voter rolls. Secretary of State Adrian Fontes met with reporters this afternoon to explain a very confusing situation for all of us, most of all the 98,000 voters affected here. Right now, the issue is before the Arizona Supreme Court. The justices are being asked to decide on an emergency basis what kind of ballot these voters should get. Because of a computer coding problem that goes back 20 years, there is no evidence that these voters have provided proof of citizenship in order to vote in state and local races. That proof has been the law since 2005. And in Arizona, if you have not provided that proof, you can cast a ballot only in federal races, not in state or local elections. Here's some of what Adrian Fontes had to say today.
If you are on this list, rest assured you will be contacted soon by elections officials. That being said, we are not going to start contacting voters willy-nilly until we have final resolution from the court.
Adrian Fontes also said there are plans in the works, if needed, to create a website to make it easy for the 98,000 voters to download proof of citizenship if necessary. Now, both Adrian Fontes and recorder Stephen Richer said there is no evidence that any of these 98,000 voters are non-citizens.
Okay, so Bram, obviously this is so incredibly frustrating, not to mention confusing for so many people. So again, break down what this means if you are part of the 100,000, almost 100,000 voters who registered over the past 20 years.
Yeah, so it's a very specific group of voters here, ages 40 to 60. A plurality are Republicans, then Democrats and independents. They were issued a driver's license before October 1996 or obtained a duplicate. That reminds us these are longtime voters. Or they may have registered to vote after January 2004.
So we're in a lawsuit here, or at least a court inquiry. So what could the court actually decide?
Yeah, so this is before the Arizona Supreme Court right now. Secretary of State Fontes and Maricopa County Recorder Stephen Richer are asking the Supreme Court to choose one of two options. Either let the voters cast ballots in all races, local, state, and federal, without any proof of citizenship, or treat them under the state law for voters who have not showed documented proof of citizenship. That means these voters could cast ballots in federal races only for president, Senate, or Congress.
Okay, so when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture here, I mean, obviously we're so close to the November election coming up less than 2 months away. How do you think this will now look for Arizona, and how will the candidates play to this?
They'll play to this the way they've been playing for the last 4 years, right? I don't think we can control that. The one thing I'm watching for are lawsuits. There could very well be lawsuits as a result of what the Supreme Court decides. We have not heard from any groups that want to get involved in the litigation in this emergency hearing before the court right now. But look for lawsuits perhaps afterwards. Look for disenfranchised voters among those 98,000. Voters who say, hey, I should have voted all races, not just federal, if that's the ruling. Right,
because there are a lot of important state races, right?
Yeah.
You've got legislature, you've got propositions, all kinds of things. If they say we get kicked off, 100,000 people, I mean, for president, what was it? 11, 12,000 votes?
It is.
16, something like that? The difference?
Worst case scenario here is everybody's going to vote for the president. Okay, that's the worst case.
Right.
The best case, the worst case scenario. Sorry, it's so confusing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not good. Look for lawsuits.
Okay, this emergency hearing, though, when can we expect a decision?
Good question, because ballots go out to overseas voters this week. By the end of this week, we're told. It's unclear whether this is all going to be settled by Friday. I doubt it will be. Then you have early ballots going out in just 3 weeks to all Arizona voters. So time's running out.
Yeah.
The clock is ticking. They've got to get this done. They've got to fix this and also very quickly enable those 98,000 voters to learn what their status is.
Exactly.
In a swing
so
state.
much on the line.
You feel like saying, is it that hard? How come every single time, whether it's a ballot, the wrong size paper, the printing issues we had last time?
Here's the thing.
Always something.
This has been out there for 20 years.
Yeah.
Successive secretaries of state, reporters.
What happened?
Well, you know, Adrian Fontes will argue, look, we found this because we're looking for this kind of thing.
Right.
Okay, but here we are.
Bram, thank you.
Doesn't make us
Sure
look
thing.
good. All right. Thank you, Bram.